Hi guys. So if you're someone who's planning to move into a business analyst role and wondering what kind of certifications can take you there, then this video is for you. So before we get started, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can receive many more videos like this from me. So let's get started. Hi there. I'm Sajna Binil, your business analysis coach. In this video, we are going to specifically talk about ECBA certification. We will discuss about the benefits of ECBA certification, the eligibility criteria, the fee structure, and how does one prepare to clear this exam. So all your questions regarding ECBA certification will be answered in this video. So let's dive in. What is ECBA certification? ECBA stands for Entry Level Certificate in Business Analysis. This is a certificate that's issued by IIBA. IIBA stands for International Institute of Business Analysis. This is a non-profit organization based out of Canada that is continuously working and serving the profession of business analysis. ECBA is one of the most sought after certifications for beginner BAs. So let's look into the details of the certification. So now let's look at what are the benefits of this certification. Like I mentioned, ECBA certification is one of the most sought after certification for beginner BAs. It not only gives you a credibility in this profession, but also makes you aware of some of the industry best practices that has to be followed in business analysis. It opens doors to better job opportunities. In my YouTube channel, there is an interview of my student Hemant. Hemant has explicitly mentioned in his interview that after he completed his ECBA certification, the volume of interview calls increased drastically. It opens doors to better opportunities. Also, if you are someone who is moving from a different role into a business analyst role, uh, procuring a ECBA certification makes you look more serious about this profession. So your employer gets a confidence that you will not be moving from this role anytime soon because you have invested so much in procuring a IIBA certification. It makes you look more serious about your career. Hmm? And and they feel that you are not a career hopper. ECBA certification also gives you a better negotiation power when it comes to salaries. So ECBA certified candidates get at least 12% more salary than the non-certified ones. So the benefits of this certifications are immense, guys. Now let's take a look at the exam eligibility. Like I told you, this exam can be taken by everyone. So there is no work experience required for taking this examination. You can be from any background, IT or non-IT. You can, if you are able to study the entire syllabus that's given for the ECBA examination, that is good enough. So there is no eligibility criteria in terms of the background required or the experience required. For this exam, 21 PDUs are required, that is professional development units. Now you can collect these PDUs by taking a training with an endorsed training provider. Our company, Interactive Learning Solution, is an endorsed training provider by IIBA. All the students who complete ECBA certification from us automatically get the PDUs that are required to complete the examination. That's with respect to the exam eligibility. Now let's take a look at the exam format. The exam consists of 50 questions and the time limit is 60 minutes. So 50 questions, 60 minutes. It is an MCQ type of exam, multiple choice, which means you don't have to write any answers over there, no subjective questions. You have to choose a correct answer. The exam is an online proctored exam. So it's not an open book test, it's an online proctored exam. A moderator from IIBA will be constantly moderating the exam as you are giving it online. With respect to the difficulty level, it's a relatively easy exam, guys. Since this certification is made for beginner BAs, there is absolutely no difficulty level for this certification. It's a relatively easy exam to crack. Questions are straight from the textbook. What is the exam fees involved? Now, the investment for this exam includes an application fees, which is $45, membership fees. Now, the membership fees differs based on the region that you are located. So it differs from location to location. If you're based out of India, membership fee will come to $55. If you're based out of US, UK, or Singapore, it comes to $139. And of course, people belonging to Thailand, Maldives, Malaysia, it is $89. Okay, this is the membership fee. The exam fee is $150 for members, and the exam fee is $305 for non-members. Now, why this differentiation between members and non-members? The whole benefit of taking a membership with IIBA is you get a heavy discount on the exam fee, and you get all access to their resources and their knowledge base. So membership fee is an annual fee. So taking into consideration these figures, the total investment for someone from the India geography would include $45 plus $55 plus $150. So in Indian currency, this roughly comes to 18.5 to 19K. Okay, that's the total investment that's involved. Understand, I'm using the term investment because every money that you put into your learning is an investment, not an expense. Because once you complete this certification and you get a job, within the next 6 months, you will get the entire returns on this investment. Yes, guys, this is one thing I tell my student. Any learning that you engage in, always consider this learning as an investment towards your future. Now let's look at the exam blueprint. Now, what is the exam blueprint? Exam blueprint tells you the weightage in terms of the chapters. So these are the different chapters that are a part of the ECBA syllabus, and given beside each chapter is a weightage. So if you have managed to grab a copy of BA BOK, Business Analysis Body of Knowledge, this exam blueprint will make you aware of what is the weightage given to each chapter. So chapter number 3, Business Analysis, Planning and Monitoring, has 5% weightage. Elicitation and Collaboration has 20% weightage. Requirement Lifecycle Management has again 20% weightage. Requirement Analysis and Design Definition has 25% of weightage. Techniques chapter, which is the longest chapter in BA BOK, has 17.5% weightage. Competencies has 5%, and key concepts, which is the second chapter, has again a 5% of weightage. So if you look at this weightage distribution, you can very easily say what are the top chapters that you should focus on. Of course, elicitation and collaboration, requirement lifecycle management, and requirement analysis and design definition. These are 3 main important chapters. Having said that, you should not ignore the other chapters. Techniques is not far behind. Now let us look at some of the resources that are required to clear this exam. Like I mentioned, BA BOK, that is a Business Analyst Body of Knowledge. This is a book that's published by IIBA and has the entire syllabus for the ECBA exam. So if you manage to grab a copy of BA BOK, ensure that you are having version 3, which is the latest copy of BA BOK. Along with this book, you will need a mock test so that you can practice, once you complete a particular chapter, you can go to the mock test and practice to see what is your readiness for the exam. You will also need to create a study plan. Now, why is a study plan required? I, as a coach, highly recommend that you have a study plan for your ECBA certification, because we have seen through our experience that many students, when they enroll for ECBA certification, they are all determined to make it happen. But after they start their studies, somewhere midway, they lose interest and get more focused on their office work or something happening on the personal front, and they lose motivation. So in such cases, it's very difficult to come back to studies after a long gap. So having a study plan keeps you focused. So in my ECBA workshops, I prepare a study plan for my students where I mention the target dates by which they have to complete the chapters and report back to me. So a study plan helps you stay focused, guys, because as we all know, no one works without deadlines. So when deadlines are given to you, you work towards it. So have a study plan. Lastly, have a reference guide that will point you to the important sections of BA BOK, which will act as a quick reference for you to brush up, a few days before the exam. Now let's look at how does one prepare for this examination. So when you are preparing for the exam, so in my ECBA certification workshops, the first step I tell my students is go and pay the application fee. So once you have paid the application fee, your mind automatically starts working towards the goal. See, the problem with these professional certifications is they don't have a fixed timeline. It can be taken throughout the year. So you can complete your ECBA training in January and go and take the exam in August or September. There is no timeline given by IIBA. The benefit is that you get complete flexibility to take the exam whenever you want. But the con is that when you get more flexibility, you tend to procrastinate. So that your mind doesn't procrastinate and so that it works towards this goal, the first step I tell my students to do is go and pay the application fee. When you know that your money is locked in a place, you will automatically start working towards that goal. Next, step number 2, prepare the study plan. Like I just mentioned, have a detailed study plan which will chalk out each and every dates by when you have to complete each chapter. Third, join a study group. So our ECBA certification programs include a study group where all my students who are preparing for the ECBA exam come and meet me, update me about their progress, ask doubts, and then we have a quiz to check how much the group is ready with that particular chapter. So every week, the group prepares a particular chapter and reports in the study group call to evaluate their understanding of the chapter. So have a study group where you can get a lot of support from your fellow members who are preparing for the exam. Point number 4, observe patterns in BA BOK. Now, most of my students say that BA BOK is very exhaustive, it's very boring, it's difficult to read. You will see in BA BOK there is a lot of redundant content. So for ECBA examination, I don't ask my students to memorize the entire BA book. The book consists of more than 500 pages. You don't need to memorize everything. Okay. You have to just observe the patterns in BA book. Observe the patterns and remove the redundancy. So there are some pattern techniques that we discuss in our study group calls, which you can observe and easily memorize the items given in BA book. Fifth point, dedicate at least 2 hours daily for your study. 2 hours daily to prepare for the exam is highly recommended. If you are a student and you can allocate more number of hours on a daily basis, then you can expedite this process. Okay. The last point, revise while on break. See, we have observed many times, it so happens that students study for 2 weeks and after that they go take a break. Either they get occupied with office work or something personal, and for 1 week they have not touched BA BOK. So this is something that I don't recommend as a coach. Even when you are taking a break from the exam study, revise the old chapters that you have prepared. Keep revising it in your mind. You might not be able to start something new that particular week, but revise it in your mind, because the concepts in BA BOK that you had studied the previous weeks will just evaporate when you reopen the book. So you wouldn't like to get back to square one, right? So revise while you are on break. The next point talks about the passing score. Everyone asks, what is the passing score for this exam? Well, the passing score for the exam is not declared by IIBA. The next point talks about the timeline. So my students ask, how much time, ma'am, I'll require to prepare for the ECBA exam? Well, this differs from person to person. A net timeline that you can look at is 30 to 60 days. So if you follow the study plan that I have given you thoroughly to the core, within 30 days, you can target your exam. Now, what is the application process? Let's take a look at that. So for applying for the ECBA exam, you need to first create an account on the IIBA website. Creating an account is free and you don't need to pay anything. Just enter your personal details and an account will be created on the IIBA website. After that, you have to go and log in your professional development hours, which means you have to enter the details of the training program that you have undertaken in order to take this exam. So mention the name of the company and what kind of training you took and how many hours of training. So log your professional development hours, after which it will give you an option to go ahead and pay the application fee. Once you have paid the application fee, the application will be immediately approved, and within 5 minutes, you will receive an email stating that your application is approved. Now you can go ahead and pay your membership fee and the exam fee. After you pay the exam fee, you can schedule the exam as per your convenience. Now, last point, what is the validity of the certificate that you get from IIBA? The ECBA certification requires no renewal. It does not expire. So that's a good news. You don't need to keep renewing this certificate. This is also one reason that I highly recommend ECBA certification for beginners, because it's a lifelong certificate, guys. You don't need to keep renewing it. Once you complete the examination, IIBA will send you a certificate along with an ECBA badge. This ECBA badge can be used everywhere in your LinkedIn profile, in your resume, in your signature, which gives you an opportunity to tell the world that you are now an IIBA certified business analyst. So if you would like to prepare for ECBA certification under my guidance, my workshop details are given in the description box. Take a look at it and schedule a call with me, and let's take it from there. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.